Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about things I wish I knew before becoming a minimalist. Now, I'm happy where I am and there's nothing really I want to change about the past, but I still thought I'd share some things with you that could be helpful if you are just starting your minimalist journey, or even if you have been on your minimalist journey for several months or years, maybe it still could be helpful. This video today is a collaboration with Merino. On her channel, she shares a lot of tips on decluttering and minimalism and simple living in general. And I suggest you check it out because she has videos about a lot of things surrounding minimalism, and she's a really kind and nice person to watch. And I really enjoy watching her videos. So I will link her channel down below and in the cards so you can check it out and watch her video on the same topic after this one. Now, starting with my first of 7 things I wish I knew before becoming a minimalist. And that is very simple, and I think I've talked about it a lot of times, and it is knowing that minimalism is not the same for everybody and that there are actually no real rules when it comes to minimalist living. So I really wish I knew that minimalism is whatever I make it, and that minimalism is not something anybody makes the rules for or that I could actually do wrong, because minimalism is only minimalism and beneficial to me if I decide how to live it. And with that, I think it is really, really important to know that there is nothing we have to declutter, and there we can absolutely keep everything that brings us joy. There's no rule that says how many things we have to declutter before we can call ourselves minimalists. And the next point is really important as well, and it ties in with the first one, and it is what minimalism is for you is determined by your whys. It's determined by deciding why you want to become a minimalist, what your values are, and what you try to get out of this lifestyle. So if you're a minimalist because you want to travel the world with one backpack's worth of things, of course minimalism can only work for you if you manage to actually declutter that many things. But if you're a minimalist to lower your footprint on our environment, then it really is not about the really small number of things you keep, but it's maybe about the things you buy new, or it's maybe about the garbage you produce, or it's about being mindful with air travel and just living a slower minimalist lifestyle. Also, doing minimalism right or wrong is your decision. You have to justify your actions in front of yourself and not for anybody else. Nobody can decide if you are doing minimalism right, because they don't have the same values, they don't have the same whys, they don't have the same goals as you do. So determining if you are a good minimalist is up to you. You can decide if you are the minimalist you want to be, and if you're not, then of course you can change. But it's nobody else's business to tell you what kind of minimalist you have to be. The third point is you do not have to be guilty. I wish I knew that I do not have to be guilty to let go of things that just don't serve me. Guilt comes for me a lot of times when I see that I've done something wrong in the past, that I should have managed that item, that I should have brought that to somebody else, that I should have done that I should not have bought the thing that I'm not using now. But right now, in the present time, I cannot change anything about that, and feeling guilty will certainly not help me. But the best thing I can do is making a decision for the future, and in order to possibly give that piece another life. And if not, then the least I can do is not make myself sad or make it worse for my life by realizing that I've done a mistake in the past. And of course I should pay attention to not make that mistake in the future again. But I think it's really helpful to just know you are absolutely allowed to declutter everything that does not serve you. Of course, I try to do it in the most sustainable way as possible, but again, that's up to your values, what you choose to do with your life, with your minimalist lifestyle, etc. The fourth thing is feelings are normal. So I think it is super normal to cry when you declutter your sentimental items. It's also super normal to not have feeling for your things at all. I think sometimes we think we have to feel a certain way, we have to feel guilty by letting go of presents we received from other people, or that we should not have feelings about our kitchen items that we want to declutter. But actually, feelings are your personal thing. Feelings are something I deal with a variety majority of things I declutter or do not want to declutter. And I think it's totally okay to not declutter something if I have feelings about it, even if I'm like rationally thinking about it and thinking that maybe I should declutter it, maybe I do not want to keep it, maybe it's not serving me. But sometimes there's just a feeling and I cannot do anything about that feeling. And it's absolutely okay if your feelings are not the same way as your thoughts, as you think it would be best. I think it's good to listen to your feelings, but of course make the decisions with both your feelings and your like logical thinking. And I think then you can't really do anything wrong. Another a bit less serious thing is I wish I knew that it was the start of my minimalism journey or how drastically my life would change, because then I would definitely have taken before pictures. I've taken some pictures over the time of my room, of my apartment and things like that, but it would have definitely been a good thing to take a bit more pictures of things I declutter, of how it looked before I started decluttering. I'm not sad I didn't. It's not a tragedy, but sometimes it would have been nice to have these pictures and look back at them. But also I think it's normal to now realize that in the past it would have been a good idea to do this, but we are in the present and we cannot change anything about the past. And in the past we did not know where we would be right now. So I think that's totally normal that sometimes we would have done something differently if we decided now for something we did in the past. But yeah, taking before pictures is something I really recommend to anybody who starts a huge decluttering journey. So yeah, it's nice to look back on it because you will make progress, and you will make more progress than you would have ever thought. And sometimes it doesn't seem like a lot of progress, but if you have these before pictures, I think it makes a huge difference a lot of times. Another thing that would have been nice to know, and that I think I can tell everybody who is just starting their minimalist journey: most likely decluttering will not be a one-time thing. I'm not super sad I didn't know that, but it would have been interesting to know and informative and just beneficial, I think. Because I went into minimalism with the mindset that I'm gonna declutter everything I don't want right now, and then I'm ending up with like everything I want, and that's what I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. I mean, not that drastically maybe, but I still thought I'm just gonna declutter this one time very drastically, and then that's what my life is gonna be afterwards. But minimalism doesn't work this way, at least not for me. Usually it's just every few months I declutter a few more pieces, and of course I've never decluttered as much as I've decluttered in the beginning, but there are just a few things here and there. So decluttering is not a one-time thing, it's definitely a journey, and it's definitely okay that it is a journey. So I think I would just suggest and tell you if you're starting minimalism, or tell myself, I mean that doesn't help anything anymore, but just that decluttering is not a one-time thing and minimalism is a journey. It will just change over time and you will end up decluttering again and again. And I think we have to be really careful with this one, because I don't want to say that you can just not change your buying habits, because then you of course end up with more and more stuff each time again. And that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting you still look closely at your buying habits. You try to decrease the amount of things you own, and even if you do that perfectly, I'm sure there will be things you want to declutter later on, but that's totally normal, I think. And then my 7th point is things will change. And I think that's a very important one, because I hear a lot of people like tell other people, well, you said something differently a few years ago, you decluttered that, why do you want to have it again, or things like that. And I think it's totally normal, even if you declutter and you are sure that this is the amount of things, that these are the exact things you want to have that are perfect for your life. Even if you do that perfectly, most likely it will change. And that doesn't only mean like you will declutter more, like the point before this one, but also that even if you only have 3 sweaters, these 3 sweaters will maybe not be the perfect sweaters for you for the next 10 years. Maybe your needs change, maybe your lifestyle changes, maybe you move countries or just cities or just apartments, or your life changes, you get a new job, you become a parent, things change in our lives and we change with the things. And I think with the mindset that we should not change, that doesn't help anybody. And I think it's good to appreciate who we are right now, the things we have and that bring us joy, and to also care for these things, but also to acknowledge that our lives change, to be okay with us changing and with past solutions not being right in the present moment. So I think embracing change and just going with it, trying to make the best decision for today and possibly the future, knowing that it most likely won't be the best decision for the rest of your life. With all that said, I think minimalism is just really what everybody makes it. It can be a tool, it can be a mindset, it can be a lifestyle, it can be strict rules, it can be just material things, it can be mostly in your mind. Minimalism is something that a lot of people can use for their lives. That is beneficial for a lot of people. But also there might be a lot of people that do not like minimalism, that do not want to have minimalism in their life, and that's totally fine as well. Now I would be really interested in what minimalism is for you, what the things are that you would have wanted to know before starting, or just any tips you have for people that start on their minimalist journey. I hope you like this video, and don't forget to check out Mariella's channel that I will link you up here and in the description below, and say hi when you go over there so she's know you're coming from this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more, I link you a video and a playlist right here, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!